Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today we are going to do a shelf cooking challenge. The challenge is just with myself. It's inspired by Jordan Page. I mentioned her in the last video and I got a lot of questions about her, so definitely go check her out on Instagram and you can see all the programs that she offers. But I would like to share with you some of the meals that I do the last week of the month with some of the things that I have in my pantry. And I try not to buy anything the last week of the month. Sometimes we can't buy anything the last week of the month, which is totally fine. But today we're just gonna check out the cabinets, see what I have, and then we will meal prep for the week. And right now these are just going to be sides or bases for meals that we could put meat or a protein in. Yeah, these are going to be some vegetarian, some with meat, and I'm really excited to share this video because it has helped us so much save money at the end of the week. We're not ordering out, we're making room in the pantry, and it's just a really fun way to include different types of recipes in your daily cooking routine. So if you are interested in this video, please stay tuned. Alright everyone, so I went digging in my pantry and I came up with a few things. So this is going to be a side for night one, and I'm going to serve it with barbecue chicken for the boys. I'm not going to show you how to make the barbecue chicken, I'm just showing you how I do the shelf cook. So let's just go over some of the ingredients that I found in the pantry. I found these lasagna noodles. We don't have ricotta and we don't have pasta sauce, so I can't make lasagna out of it. So I was thinking of things that I could make when this potato literally fell on my toe. So we have a lot of gold potatoes, and then we have an onion, some garlic, and I thought of making pierogi casserole or like a pierogi lasagna. You know that pierogis are a staple and they're super delicious. I'm from Pennsylvania originally, and it was just a big deal to eat pierogis. We have them for school lunch. They're at the county fair. We just love pierogis, but I'm gonna make a pierogi lasagna. So things that I needed from the refrigerator are going to be butter. We always have butter on hand. We always have cheese on hand. I buy it in the block so I can shred it. It tastes better to us and it's a better deal usually. And then I need to use up this almond milk. It expired yesterday, but I'm just gonna chance it. I think we'll be just fine. If you do look up Jordan Page, she does mention a lot about expired items and how to work around that. It's not always going to be something that you need to throw out, so definitely look into that. But yeah, I'm going to show you how I make this pierogi lasagna. And if you're excited like I am, let's get into it. Alright, I am starting out with a big pot of water. I put a little salt in there, and I'm just going to put my potatoes directly in there. I washed these first and scrubbed them. You always want to do that with your potatoes. But when we get them from the farm market, we usually keep the dirt on them so they last a little longer. That's another tip for you if you want to make food last longer. But go ahead and put those in. And believe it or not, when this water starts boiling, I'm actually just going to make room and put the lasagna noodles right in there just so I don't have to dirty two pots. And yeah, that's another little tip as well. And I will get back to you when everything is boiled and cooked so we can assemble the lasagna. So I've been keeping all of my spices back here, and when my mom came to visit, she brought me this baby spoon. It used to be mine. And it fits perfectly in these little jars, so sorry mom. But I have just like the basics back here. I have Italian seasoning, onion powder, I have garlic powder, pepper, salt, and pumpkin spice, which is what I put in my coffee generally. but these are the main spices that I use. So I'm gonna get out some onion powder, some black pepper, and some salt. You're actually gonna need a little bit more salt, and those are what spices we are going to be using for this recipe. All right, now we have everything that we need for the recipe. I have my onions and garlic up here. I'm going to be sauteing them in the butter. We're just gonna use about 1/2 of a stick and then use some to grease our pan. I have my spices here, which go with the onions and garlic, and then I shred up that block of cheese, and that will go as a layer as well. Okay, now that my water is boiling, I'm gonna put the lasagna noodles in, and you can use the regular lasagna noodles that you don't have to cook, but this is all I have. So I'm just gonna put those in here with the potatoes, remember. And then on my cast iron skillet, I have some butter, and I'm just going to put all of those onions and garlic in there, and I'm just gonna cook those until they start to caramelize. All right, I got all of the lasagna noodles out, and I totally made a rookie mistake and stacked them. They're gonna get stuck together. I'm just gonna work with what I have. And then I have some butter and almond milk in here because essentially inside of a pierogi is mashed potatoes. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you're not gonna, or I don't have any ricotta. So if you have ricotta, throw that in there. If you have cream cheese, throw that in there. But this is all that I have. I'm gonna serve mine with sour cream and green onions, and hopefully that will do something for it. But this is just a classic meal, meat, potatoes, and another veggie. So I'm just gonna show you how I layer this. It's similar to a lasagna, and yeah, it's gonna turn out really good. Welcome to night 2 of our little shelf cook challenge, and tonight we are going to do a butternut squash risotto, but I'm gonna add some extra veggies in it. So I found this brown rice and quinoa in my pantry. I have a bunch of these because I got them from Costco, and we don't use them as much as we should. So we're gonna use that as the base instead of a typical risotto rice. And then I have this squash from the farmer's market that needs to be used up. I have some kale that needs to be used up. If you don't like kale, omit this, but I really like it. My family enjoys it. I have a bell pepper, needs to be used up. And then I have an onion. And typically your risottos are going to be like a heavy cream and butter with Parmesan. But the things that I needed from the refrigerator are this half and half. I have some butter, and I don't have Parmesan, but I have mozzarella, so I'm going to use that and serve it with some nachos, which is super strange, but again, we are shelf cooking and my husband said it's cool, so he's gonna have his nachos and then I'm going to have mine, and we're kind of gonna do 2 meals here. So you're gonna get 2 meals for the second shelf cook challenge night, and let's just get into it.
The first thing I did was cut off the ends of my squash, and now I'm going to cut it in the center. This may be a little tricky, so a trick that I have is cut it halfway through and then bang your squash onto the countertop, and then it should split right open. And then butternut squash has these little seeds in them. Just scoop them out. You can save the seeds and roast them and make them into papitas or whatever you want to call them, but they are super good with salt and pepper. And now I'm just going to take some coconut oil. You could use whatever oil you have, and I'm going to put some on my fingers and just oil each squash, and I like to season mine with salt and pepper. It's going to go into the oven at 400 for about 40 minutes or until it is soft. I'm going to flip mine over, that way it kind of vents itself, and pop it into the oven. Now I'm preparing my veggies. So we have that bell pepper, we have a little bit of yellow onion, as well as some kale. So I'm going to cut up that bell pepper and the onion, and then with the kale, I like to de-stem it and then chop it up into little bits. When I do put it in the pan, it's going to shrink, so it doesn't need to be very small, but I find that it's the best if we just chop it up into little bits. So I scrunch it together and then chop it up into pieces. Now that the squash is out of the oven, I'm going to cut the halves into fourths, and then those fourths into 1-inch little pieces. They kind of form like a triangle, and I'm going to add that to the mixture that's on the stove right now. So I have my kale, bell pepper, and onion sauteing, and I'm going to add the brown rice and quinoa blend to the stovetop, and it already has garlic and onion powder in it, so I'm not going to add any extra spices except for salt and pepper. But yeah, I'm going to add that squash in there, and then the half and half, and a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and I will show you how this all came out.
So this is our little nacho bar. We have lettuce, jalapeno, tomato, this cheese sauce. My husband has his ground beef with taco seasoning. I have black beans, sour cream. And then over here we have that risotto. We have Wilder. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. And yeah, I'm gonna serve mine with the chia and quinoa tortilla chips. I really like those, and then my husband picked these up, so I'm just going to serve his with that. And that is dinner, night number 2. All right, so for dinner we are making some enchiladas. For me, I have corn, black beans, onions, and peppers. I got this from the farmer's market that is pretty close to us. And my husband's, he's gonna do steak and some of this, and then we're gonna serve it with brown rice on the side. I'm gonna use these organic flour tortillas to roll it up, and then I made this Poblano cream sauce. So there is Poblano peppers, onion powder, black pepper, a little bit of garlic powder. I have the chow cheese in there, some Kite Hill cream cheese, and I had like this block of the Daiya cheddar shreds, so I just put that in there just to kind of get rid of it. Right now I'm shelf cooking, so I'm just trying to get everything out of the shelves before we go ahead and buy new things. I got that idea from Jordan Page. She's from Fun, Cheap, or Free, and I will link her channel down below. But I'll show you how I assemble these, and I'm gonna serve mine with the Kite Hill sour cream, and my husband will probably just use the Daisy brand or whatever. But yeah, this is dinner.
I am using Earth Balance butter to coat my glass pan before I put the enchiladas into the dish. Truth, they still stuck to the dish, but it's okay. I was able to just take a metal spatula and get them out. But now I'm just rolling up each enchilada. So on my husband's, I put that steak and the corn and black bean pepper mix. And then I'm going to just separate them so his meat isn't touching mine. I know that sounds strange to some of you, but I just don't want it on mine. And then in the middle, I'm just doing an extra spot of protection, which is some brown rice. And I'm just going to take that green chili sauce and spread it over the top, and then add some of the new Miyoko's shreds. I just wanted to say goodnight, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.